Martinsville Speedway will play the host for race 3 here in the ITPN Truck Series playoffs. 2 races remain here to determine a champion. And of course, after last week, I'm excited for this one here. Definitely going to be a fun one here at the short track. Tempers should flare as well. And we'll get you ready here for the In the Pits News 200 in Martinsville. As always, I'm Dawson Allen. Joining me in the booth tonight, Adam Kuhn. Adam, welcome to the race.
Good evening, Dawson. It's great to be back up here in the booth. Excited for this race at Martinsville. Paperclip should be exciting show, like you mentioned. It's going to be kind of a different treat, I think. Totally different short track from any of the other ones we've seen on the circuit this season. And like you mentioned, the race 3 of the playoffs, it's crunch time. Just next week we'll have a champion decided. So if you're one of those 7 playoff guys, you're going to definitely need a great showing tonight for the points.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, as you see, you mentioned it, 7 drivers. We are missing 1 driver. He will not be attending, and he will unfortunately pretty much be eliminated from the championship contention. That being the number 30 of Alexander Kierfin. He is not here tonight. So it's going to be pretty much over for him for his hunt for the championship. But we'll take a look at the points and let you know how these are showing up and how they're shaking out. So right now, the championship points leader, Carl Felber, holds a 5-point lead over second place Alonzo Chicano. In third, Cameron Caldwell is only 6 points back, and he's tied with the 20 of Justin Durand. Michael Kruger is 9 points back. Dalton Kelly back 17 points. Zach Probst is back 37, all but mathematically eliminated. He'll have to have a good run tonight. And Alexander Kierfin, as we mentioned, he's down 49 coming into this race and will not be racing tonight, so he will be out of it. So, 7 drivers still with a realistic chance. 7th with a long shot, but it's not like it's impossible. But it all kind of depends on the field size, depends on how the stages shake out. Couple different things to kind of watch and see as this race goes on. So Adam, what are your thoughts about the points here as we have just 2 races left?
First off, I want to reach out and wish Alexander Kierfin that he gets better, because I was told when he was going to miss the race, it was because he was battling an illness tonight, so hopefully he feels better. And unfortunately, his playoffs, like you mentioned, not great to begin with. He's 8th in the points, like you mentioned, missed the opening round at Bristol and did not finish last week at Phoenix, was involved in an incident, so very unfortunate postseason, but he's going to be looking forward to next season, of course. The fight up front is going to be very interesting with this guy right here who we see looping, Alonzo Chicano, being 5 points behind Carl Felver. Both of these guys are very great stage drivers in terms of racking up bonus points. Alonzo leads the league in stage wins this season, and had a ton of playoff points helping him into the playoffs, of course, and Carl the same with all of his wins. So no surprise to see them top of the board, and this track is one of Felver's, I think, going to fall into his wheelhouse, being a short track, of course. We've seen him dominate on a lot this season at.
But you mentioned dominate. Can't help but notice that truck that was back there in the background. Number 1, Jason Gracias, last week's winner. He is going to show his muscle here tonight, hopefully. A very good short track racer. So shock each other to the next short track race, and starting to see what he can do. So far, only 9th fastest in the practice, but I would not expect that to be the trend here as this race goes on tonight.
Absolutely not. He won Iowa Speedway beginning of the season, and then won, like you mentioned, Phoenix last weekend for his 2 wins on the year. He finished 2nd at Richmond, and that race at Richmond was won by Carl Felver after Gracias led almost every lap, got passed on a green-white checker restart by Felver in the 15, and then Felver picked up wins at Nashville and IOP, short tracks that Gracias did not compete at. So these two are going to be going at it again like they were at Richmond. I'm going to be very intrigued if they can both make it all the way to the end, unfortunately, like Felver was able to do last weekend. See if they're going to be able to duke for the win against each other, and it's intriguing, like you mentioned, because Gracias is not a playoff contender, so he doesn't have anything to go for tonight besides the trophy, like we saw him do last weekend.
And you mentioned last week, let's go ahead and take it back to that race at Phoenix and take a look as we take our quick race recap presented by Mardon PCs. Of course, early on, the green turn 2. The 42 overcorrects, gets in the wall, a massive stack up that also collects Alexander Kierfin and Josh Copper, our own JCT, to take them out of the race early. Then, of course, you saw Cameron Caldwell, Zach Kropp, Scott Roush got into each other. Then we had the wreck with Gracias and Felber, the incident we may see lead up to later in this race. It also took out Alonso Chicano. And then, of course, the incident with Dalton Kelly and Justin Duran. All 8 playoff drivers were involved in an incident of some kind last week at Phoenix. 7 of the 8 drivers outside the top 10. But, of course, Dalton Kelly was still able to recover and able to win the stage. So, his first stage win of the season, so very big come at that time for him. And then you look, though, immediately after that stage was over, Gracias got out front, took control, and took over. And he was a rocket ship. You know, he was gone the whole race. He led it after that pretty much the entire way through. Haynes had thrown a strategy call to pit late, but in the end it didn't matter. Jason Gracias wound up taking home his 2nd win of the season last week at Phoenix. And as I mentioned, one playoff driver in the top 10 of that race, that was Justin Duran, who I believe finished in the 6th position. But you know, Jason Gracias, of course, we watch him on track right now, live here at Martinsville, he won at Phoenix. So we see that one truck out there. You saw him park in victory lane. No burnouts for him. He just wanted to go straight to victory lane and celebrate that win. So we go back to you live here at Martinsville. Gracias 9th on the leaderboard right now. So we'll have to see what happens as this race goes on. And that was your In the Pits News race recap presented by Mardon PCs. Playoff heavy up here, the top 7. Only one truck there is a non-playoff driver. That is the 38 of Matthew Stotts, currently running the 5th fastest lap here of this practice session.
It's kind of surprising to see him sneak his way up there. Rookie driver in the league and brand new to iRacing, like I mentioned a couple weekends ago. Struggled at Bristol, short track. Similar length to here at Martinsville, but obviously different banking, different racing completely. So, and he ran 4th last weekend at Phoenix. Mentioned all the chaos that ensued for the playoff guys. So opened up the door for a great finish for someone like Matthew Stott. P4 at Phoenix, a great showing for him. He's just going to try and ride that momentum this weekend.
And it wasn't just the P4 at Phoenix. He qualified at outside pole. So a very good starting attempt and a very good finish for him. Let's see if we can talk to him and see if we can get some words from that driver number 38 machine. Reach out to him, see if we can't communicate with him here.
Doesn't seem like... Oh, wait, hold on, let me check. Again, Dawson, sorry.
Oh.
Hey, Matthew Stotts, this is Dawson out up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Alrighty, coming off of a great finishing result last week, great starting result even too. Carrying a little bit of momentum, 5th fastest in practice so far. How are you feeling about the truck tonight?
It's a little... It's questionable, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's questionable. Very difficult to try and what the bottom look I'm trying to do, but trying to find myself long run wise, kind of what I looked for at Phoenix, and that's kind of what I'm looking for right now. And I feel pretty good long run wise for this track, and hoping to carry that momentum, like you said, for today's race.
Yeah, and you know you're in the swarm right now. You see. The top 7 fastest times, you were the only non-playoff driver up there. What's it been like, you know, just being able to race with some of these guys you're racing with? How's that been like for you as the season's gone on?
Well, it's been great, man. I've really taken the time to look at all these guys and learn what they do and try to apply myself to what they're able to do with their trucks, and it's really paid off. You know, all talented guys here, and Every race I race, you know, I take a look at what they're doing and I try to apply all that to what I do with the truck and maximize what I can.
Already just about 4.5 minutes left of practice. We'll let you go. Best of luck out there tonight.
I appreciate you. Y'all have a good one.
That was the driver of the number 38. That was Matthew Stotts. Like you said, you know, been very exciting to watch him race. You know, it's going to be fun to see what he can do tonight, especially considering, you know, how much of a technical track this race is. It'll be fun to watch.
Absolutely, such a long run rhythm kind of racetrack. And every race, every short track we've gone to this season, Dawson, has kind of been caution heavy. And bar example, exception was IOP, which ran pretty much green the entire way. But we've seen a lot of cautions on these shorter racetracks. You think that's going to carry over tonight in Martinsville?
I want to say it might, but at the same time, with how small of a field we have so far, it may not be. I mean, you know, we had this about the size of a field for IRP, and it stayed relatively clean. So I think with a track like Martinsville, having only 14 guys racing right now, as it looks like, I think that opens the door for a bit of a longer green flag run here as the night progresses. So we'll have to see, though. I mean, there will be some aggressive drivers out there that will be trying to get spots any way they can. It's something I'm looking at here, too. Michael Kruger, 12 fasts of 14. I expect to see maybe him swing for the fences a little early on. You know, he's just not been able to find speed, it looks like, in this race. So be very interested to see what the 42 does as the night goes on.
Unfortunately, Michael Kruger has not raced like Michael Kruger of the regular season we've come to expect these last couple weeks. Unfortunately, runs fifth in the playoff standings right now, where he had led the regular season standings for a majority of the year. He was the top rookie against, right there, the 20 truck at Justin Duran, and just last weekend, for the first time, Duran passed Kruger in the Rookie of the Year point standings. And there you see these two going at it right now in practice. A little indecision there as they saw smoke ahead of them. But Duran, fourth in the point standings, has a 3-point gap for that Rookie of the Year title, while they both also chase the actual cup for this in the Pitts News Truck Series Championship at the same time next weekend.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see, you know, just how they do in this race. You know, we've seen Duran, you know, he's not been flashy. I wouldn't say flashy is the word to say it. You know, he's put together really good runs and just not been too concerned with trying to, you know, go out and try to dominate a race and lead a bunch or try to push the truck too hard. You know, he brings it home in one piece, and usually that one piece is in the top 10. So definitely no shocker there to see him usually up front near the middle of the pack, if not up near the top 3. So we'll have to see tonight as well, you know, battling for that rookie of the year, sorry. To see how he does.
And that should bring it home in one piece. He's the only driver to have started every race this season and not have a DNF. He's made it to the checkered flag every race this season. That's the 20 truck at Justin Duran. I think he's a pretty much dark horse for this championship, Dawson. Like I said, quiet all season, and he's got second place at Michigan, a second place at Talladega, a second place at Bristol, and fifth place last weekend. So he's kind of been on a tear recently.
Yeah, to say that now, I mean, you may very well have just jinxed him there. We'll have to see. It should be a fun one. I'm very excited for this race. So we'll get you a quick recap of the race before we get to qualifying here, just to let you know what to expect tonight. It's going to be a 200-lap event with the stage ending at lap 50. Of course, the top 6 in that stage and will receive points from 6 down to 1. So for those playoff guys showing up today, at most we'll have 6 of the 7 that showed up getting points. So it'll be big to try to get up there to the front. And that's not to mention the battle that's going on for points outside of the playoffs. There's a battle going on between Brett Bennett and Andrew Elias there for that 9th spot in the point standings. And it should be interesting to see just how this goes.
Absolutely. Brett Bennett, 8th on the leaderboard right there. We see him just going head on to the wall as practice comes to an end. But he can be a spoiler for those stage points, of course, as well as Andrew Relias, like you mentioned, they're battling for that 9th position just outside of the playoff leaderboard.
So as practice comes to a close, let's take a look at that final finish of the practice. I do believe it was Alonso Chicano finishing it off P1 with the fastest lap there. So no surprise, in my opinion, to see him up front. Looks like our first truck on track is the number 62 of Zach Probst. He is the first one out, setting a lap time now. Looks like Caleb McCurry's out as well. He's started his first lap. We'll follow this 62 of Zach Probst as he goes. Alonso Chicano is now out making his lap.
Probst, 4-time pole sitter this season. He holds that position. He's going to win $50 JCTV Pole Award bonus.
He's not going to hold it for long. Alonso Chicano and Caleb McCurry get ahead of him at first, but it looks like this time by he'll improve it, move it up to second. But right now, Alonso Chicano is your current pole sitter with a 19.319. This time by, it's going to put him at a 19.297. That's the fastest lap we've seen so far. Looks like Jason Gracias coming around now to make his lap time. It's going to be a 19.387. Going to knock him to second, just behind Alonso Chicano. So unable to get the pole for this one machine. We'll see him make his way around here. Two more out there making a lap. It looks like it's the 42 of Michael Kruger and the 82 of Gabe Cazzola. Looks like they are out making laps now. We'll take a look at the 42, another playoff contender here. See how he does. Looks like the 20 truck of Justin Durand may have had an issue off of pit road, but it looked like he was kind of slow coming up. On my side, could not tell, but Michael Kruger sets a lap time of a 19.685, so he is currently the slowest truck. Durand with a 22.386. I do believe he lost it in his qualifying lap. This will be the money lap here, though. He'll have to have a very good lap to see if he can't make his way up into the top of the standings. He'll cross the line this time with a 19.4, putting him third. Brett Bennett jumps up into the 5th position. Cameron Caldwell with a 21.356 will pick up him after his teammate Justin Durand set the 3rd fastest lap. A slow lap as well that first time by. We'll see if he can't get it the second go around. And he loses it coming to the line. Problems for Cameron Caldwell in qualifying. He's not going to set a second lap. And the 12 truck is going to have to settle for last on the leaderboard. Not what he wanted to have happen. That's going to cost him there. Let's take a look at the replay. Coming out of turn 4. Clipped the curb right there and just lost it. Couldn't save it. Into the inside wall. So Cameron Caldwell now with the slowest lap set, a 21.356. So right now Matthew Stotts is out on the racetrack in the 38 machine. As he starts making his lap here, he'll get to the line this time. It'll be a 19.923. That is good for 10th right now. Dalton Kelly also out setting his lap. Another playoff driver out making an attempt. Cameron Caldwell, looked like he did another lap just to see what he could do, but it's not been good for the driver of the 12 so far here in qualifying. Looks like 2 drivers yet to make a lap, yet to even enter the racing surface. Andrew Relias and David Durand have not turned a lap yet. Dalton Kelly sets a 19.408, puts him 4th on the leaderboard. So with just about 30 seconds left, 2 drivers looks like they're not going to take a time. Andrew Relias and David Durand. There you see Dalton Kelly slide it off of 4 as well. That'll be something to keep an eye on, Adam.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot in the practice session there that we just got done with, and we've seen that with Cam Caldwell and Dalton Kelly right here in just qualifying. So we kind of saw that as a trend at Nashville, at the Nashville Fairground race, was a lot of lazy slides through the center of the corners. And absolutely, I think the trend of tonight's race is going to be slow slides off corner at Martinsville here tonight. Just trying to get the throttle down, put the power down in the rear end. Just can't get it all together there. Very slow racetrack, of course.
Now I gotta ask you, was that a reverse Polish victory lap, or was that a true Polish victory lap there? We saw from Dalton Kelly going backwards down the racetrack.
It was a tomato lap. He was just having fun there, and once you lose it, just put it in reverse or maybe even neutral and just let it ride.
Well, alrighty, as the field starts to make the grid, let's go ahead and take a look at your starting lineup presented by Mardon PCs. Starting in row 1 is the 25 of Alonso Chicano, and outside of him is the 15 of Carl Felver. In third is the 1 of Jason Gracias, and then the 45 of Dalton Kelly. Then in row 3, it's the 20 of Justin Duran, and then it's the 6 of Zach Probst. And then in 7th, in row 4, it's Brett Bennett and Caleb McCurry. Adam?
Michael Kruger is going to start in row 5 alongside Gabe Cazzola, who starts 10th tonight. Matthew Stotts is going to line up 11th next to Cameron Caldwell. Spun on his qualifying lap last out of those who took a time. And then David Duran, of course, in the 24 truck is going to start out back alongside Andrew Elias on row 7.
And that is your field. 14 trucks look to do battle at Martinsville tonight. Of course, we thank Mardon PC yet again, sponsoring the starting grid. Any of your computer needs, Mardon PC, mardontech.com can get you what you need. So, field is ready to go. 200 laps in Martinsville for the In the Pits News 200. Playoff race number 3 of 4. And this one's going to be the most important because you're going to want to get a really good setup for the finish. You're going to want a good, strong finish here to set you up for next week, for the season finale at Kansas.
Absolutely, and we're going to talk about points a lot in this race, I think, Dawson, especially the lap 50 stage break, because these two lined up 1-2 in qualifying, of course, sit 1-2 in the championship. So it's going to be very important to lead laps early. Alonso already has bonus points coming his way from the pole award, so he needs just to rack up more by leading laps early, maybe lead the most laps if you can just get in a rhythm and lay down 50 good ones here and just lay back and watch the chaos ensue later if you can. But it might be, like we said earlier, it could be a caution-filled race with those lazy spins off the corner.
And something I want to point out, too, as we talk about the playoffs, Cameron Caldwell, the lowest starting playoff car is 12th. He's going to have to start in the middle of the Hornets' nest. He is starting out back after that bad qualifying attempt. Him and Michael Kruger are going to have to be careful, tiptoe around it, because if one of those guys ahead loses it, spins it, it could be a playoff driver or not a playoff driver, it doesn't matter. If you get caught up in that, that could end your chances in your hunt for the playoffs. So the pace car pulls off. We're going to head around to the Geico restart zone. Alonso Chicano, Carl Felver, the top 2 in the championship battle, are the top 2 for the start of the In the Pits News 200. The green flag flies and we are underway here at Martinsville.
Already see the wheel spin out of Alonso Chicano. Carl Felver is going to take the early lead into turn 1, though side by side, though. Chicano is going to try and drag race him down the back straightaway. Caleb McCurry, down the wall, looks like off of 2. Felver's still with the advantage right now, Dawson.
Don't know if he got in the wall or just letting everybody by there. He looked like he went wide on purpose. But we'll have to see. The battle is between Alonso Chicano and Carl Felver, still side by side, battling it out for the race lead here, coming down to 3 and 4.
Dalton Kelly has moved up to
spinning already! Felver's around! Caution's gonna fly. I don't know if that was contact. It very well might have been, though. It looked a little close, but I couldn't tell you. We'll have to take a look back and see this one here. Carl Felver around early, but not a lot of damage, it looks like. We'll have to see. Yeah, looks like a little bit of contact. Not sure if that 25 truck pushed up any. But let's see if we can go back and see. But already issues for our playoff driver in the 15. Let's take a look on board the 25 and see. Not really a good angle there, but it doesn't look like he missed the corner. It looked like he was able to hold it. I don't know if that was just an incident with just, maybe a little net code there. It looked kind of close. But that result of that is Carl Felber drops back to 13th now, so he'll have to try to fight his way through the field. So it'll be interesting to watch this too.
The good news is Carl Felber still has a truck left. The last couple of weeks we've had early incidents on lap 2 and 3, and that have eliminated playoff guys from the race. Think about Zach Probst at Bristol and Phoenix last weekend, and all the chaos that happened in Phoenix, in fact, happened really early in that opening stage. So Felber's still on the racetrack. He's still got a pretty undamaged race truck, so he's he is in the back, of course, but like we mentioned before, a pretty weak field tonight, so he'll have plenty of time to settle back in and fight for points later on tonight.
Yeah, it's not late. It's not too late. It's plenty early for that to happen, and that's not even too bad of a hit. Literally, maybe he got the rear end on the wall, if that, so not too much damage for that 15 truck maybe, but we'll have to see. So Alonso Chicano, race leader, Dalton Kelly second, Justin Duran third, Jason Gracias fourth, Brett Bennett fifth here at this quick caution here, just 2 laps in. As we see them start to choose, looks like Alonso takes the bottom. Then Dalton Kelly to the top. It looks like they're just kind of alternating back and forth. You see Zach Probst take the bottom behind Brett Bennett. So that's going to move Michael Kruger up. It looks like he took the outside line, so he'll jump a couple spots up to the 6th position. So definitely a benefit to choose the top when everybody else ahead of you is choosing the bottom.
Austin, real quick before we restart, I do want to mention this is the 3rd race in a row. All 3 playoff races, Chicano and Felber have made contact in some way, racing for the lead.
You just had to say it. Put it out there. We'll have to see if it happens again. Chicano, Kelly, front row, in the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air. A huge jump for the 25, getting ahead of the field as we head down into turn 1.
Justin Duran quick on that restart, getting inside of Don Kelly.
Contact with Kelly!
Duran slides into the inside wall, no caution.
No yellow flag for that incident. He's going to get it rolling, and now the caution's going to fly. It looks like Gabe Cazzola is around. Heavy damage to that side of the 82 there. And that will bring out the caution that Duran was hoping to get in his incident.
Talked about the lazy slides off the corner, Dawson. That's what it looked like, and for Justin Duran at least, and he slid it into Don Kelly before making light contact with that inside safer barrier. You see the skid marks right there, top of the screen, where he locked the brakes up, but able to keep rolling, obviously, on the lead lap here. Fortunate to catch that yellow with the 82 truck.
Let's see if we can go back and see. We'll go back to the restart here. There's that 20 truck. Gets a good launch with his teammate Alonso Chicano. You see to the inside. Gets under Dalton Kelly, it looks like right about here. He gets underneath him. And it looks like maybe he pushed up the corner, made contact. Yeah, that's exactly what happened with him. So able to save it. Now let's see if we can go up and see what happens to the 82 of Gabe Cazzola. Oh, just
teammate.
Contact from the 38 of Matthew Stotts. Got in a little too hot, made a little bit of contact, and that sent him in. Probably don't want that to happen with your teammate, but that's what we saw happen there. So, second caution of the race. Yet again for incident, this time involving the 82 of Gabe Cazzola. A little worse for wear than we saw the 15 of Carl Felber get, as he has gained a couple spots. He's up to the 10th position, and we'll have to see what to choose if he's able to get a couple more spots here before the restart.
I believe this is Cazzola's first start in the league since he led the most laps at Michigan a couple months ago in a kind of a fuel-mileage situation, led majority of the race and ended up with a P6 finish after DNFing in his first 2 starts. But been a while since we've seen that 82 truck show up at the track. Like you mentioned, contact with a teammate, never a good sign. So we have the choose cone here.
Alonso bottom, Kelly top, Gracias bottom, Bennett top, and then it's Kruger to the bottom, Probst to the top. And just kind of looking back through the field here, Stotts takes the bottom, Caldwell takes the top. Looks like it pretty much just went back and forth the same as they were going to line up anyways. Not a lot of change there. But we'll see. Chicano, Kelly still the front row. This time though in P3, Jason Gracias. See if he can make a move early here and try to go for the race lead. Into the Geico restart zone. And the green flag is back out. We're back underway in Martinsville. Ooh.
Big time stack up on the outside lane.
And behind the 12 of Cameron Caldwell, it looked like.
Pretty good stuff for Dalton Kelly. He was pretty even with Alonso going into turn 1, and he slots into the second position, able to jump down in front of Gracias.
I'm wondering if it had something to do with that 25, giving a big wiggle there on the start. You saw when he launched, he had that huge wiggle on the bottom, and that allowed Dalton Kelly to stay with him, and now he's on the back bumper.
Cazzola having more issues. He's running really wide there in the back of the pack.
Slow in the back, too. The 24, David Duran, dropping all the way back to the 14th position. Don't know if that was on purpose or not, but he looked slow on the bottom lane as Andrew Elias went by him for 13th. But the battle is up front. Dalton Kelly still right there in the tire tracks of Alonso Chicano. As we look a little bit back here, the battle is between the 5th and 6th place trucks. It's Michael Kruger and Zach Probst, both playoff guys. And you see there's Cameron Caldwell, Carl Felver, both behind him too. Oh, contact with Probst and Kruger. They're going to keep it straight. But, you can see there's a lot of take and not a lot of give between these playoff drivers. They're not going to give any more spots up. They're going to take what they can get, and we saw that with Kruger just there. A little bit of contact with Probst, got him a little squirrely, but he took the spot and ran away with it. And now Cameron Caldwell is underneath the 62 with Carl Felver, underneath him as well.
Yeah, Felver putting a lot of pressure not only on Caldwell, filling up his meals, but Zach Probst, who is trying to keep his position on the outside lane. So difficult to do here at Martinsville, of course, with all the traction and gripping down low, and Probst is going to lose that spot to Caldwell here and still restore the door with Felver off turn 2. Going to lose a lot of momentum and allow that 15 to slide in line for P7. Caldwell holding the last the point position.
And that was a quick clear there by that driver of the number 15. Got right around him, and looks like back there in 12th, Justin Duran struggling a little bit maybe. It looked like he was starting to get a little loose, a little squirrely off the corner back behind that battle ahead. So we'll have to watch this 20 truck and see as this night goes on if he's able to fully stay in it and keep it rolling. Relatively single file. Cameron Caldwell is in 6th right now. He's in the final spot for points at the stage break at lap 50, which is still about 30 laps away, but 30 laps at Martinsville is not a long time.
Especially if we get a good green flag rhythm, something we wouldn't able to. No, well, never mind.
David Duran on the back straightaway. He was pretty slow earlier. It looks like whatever issues he may have had plaguing him have come back to roost. So he spins it there, and it looks like Gabe Cazzola in the 82 was also slow here, a little bit further back. Have to look back and see if there was anything to do with both of these, but David Duran obviously was spun around on the back straightaway there. So we'll take a look back and see. That's in the process of the spin. Looks like right here. This might have been a lap too far back. We're going to fast forward a little bit here. That's the benefit of having DVR. And it looks like right here, just losing it off of the exit of turn 2. And of course, the truck sitting sideways is always going to bring out yellow flag, especially at a track like Martinsville, where that could be a big hazard to the field. So, Alonso Chicano maintaining the race lead. Dalton Kelly 2nd. Jason Gracias 3rd. Brett Bennett 4th. And Michael Kruger in the 5th spot.
Sure, that's the last thing David wanted to do right there, was cause a caution. Just kind of embarrassing moment, I believe. Just slow, lazy spin like we've seen all night, but running towards the back of the field, of course, and going to slow the field down because of it. And like we just saw his brother do a couple laps ago, that didn't bring out a caution while he was racing up front. He has not recovered much, Dawson. He's only running 11th right now.
Yeah, not doing too well for the Duran brothers. They're 11th and 13th, with David just spinning there and Justin having his issues early on. But we'll have to see if he can recover. So lap 22 of 200. We've got just about making 38 laps to go to the stage break this time. Top 6 earning points, obviously. Only 2 drivers right now in this top 6 are not playoff drivers. You see it looks like an even split yet again. Going top, bottom, nothing really crazy here. So Chicano, Kelly, Gracias, Bennett, Kruger, Caldwell maintain the top 6. They believe Felver stayed bottom. I think Probst took the top as well, it looked like back there. So, looks like not a lot of variance in the field. No, Probst took the bottom. That allows Matthew Stotts to slide up a couple spots. So we'll have to see. But David Duran kind of laying back a little bit from the field. But it's Kelly Chicano yet again. Side by side on the restart. They'll lead us back to the green flag on lap 24. Into the Geico restart zone. Back up through the gears they go. And a bit of a stack up. Kruger tried to expect the jump. He went a little bit earlier.
Stack up for both lanes. Like you mentioned, behind Kruger, the inside stacked up, and Dalton Kelly didn't get a great restart for the outside lane. And then you see Brett Bennett, who kind of paid the price for it. Got a lot of pressure on Cam Caldwell, who's hot on his bumper into Turn 3 right now. That's the battle for P5.
They are going to push hard. Cameron Caldwell right now 7th. He needs points desperately. He cannot let this go to waste. And Probst is in that same boat as we see. It'll be 25 laps to the stage this next time by. Kruger still to the inside of Brett Bennett. This is for P4. Caldwell over, cooks the corner a little bit. It's going to cost him time to Probst. And Durand is there to capitalize as well. Felver on the back bumper gets into the 42. Kruger gets a little sideways, able to maintain it. Felver all over him for this 5th spot.
It's a great save on Kruger. Easily there, he could have just hit the gas trying to catch it and completely lose the rear end of his truck and wipe out. Great save, but he is in line, tucked up behind 2 non-playoff trucks. So he's going to be red trying to get by those guys. So points caution is out.
And it's David Durand again. Just not a good race going for the driver, the number 24. We'll take a look and see if we can't go back. Yeah, lost it off of 4 there. So, another caution coming out. David Durand around yet again. And, you know, something like tonight just reminds me of a song, you know, by Jerry Reed. You know, when you're hot, and when you're not, you're not. And we're seeing that right now with the 24. It's just not his night. And, you know, it happens sometimes. So we'll have to see. He's been able to keep it off the wall for the most part. Not a lot of damage to the truck, just more so just keeps losing off the corners. So as this race goes on, we'll have to see if he can kind of just get that hold of that truck and keep it straight, and see if he can go battle for some positions here too. 3 trucks on pit road: Gabe Cazzola, Andrew Belias, and David Durand. Rest of the field staying out here, as we're going to have 21 laps to go to the stage this time by. Closing up on the end of it, and you know, Alonzo Chicano was happy with it going as a caution fest here, because that means, you know, he can just let the laps tick down to the stage break and get those 6 bonus points and lock Felver with only getting 1. So I believe we'll get the 1 to go this next time by. Still plenty of racing left, about 170 laps to go with the line this time, 20 to go in the stage. Let's see where our leaders choose to go. Alonzo Chicano, of course, choosing the bottom. Dalton Kelly up top. Jason Gracias bottom. Brett Bennett top. Then it's Michael Kruger to the bottom. Carl Felver top. Zach Probst bottom. So pretty much just going the way they got to go. Not a lot of variance in the choosing here. And it's not a shocker. You know, there's really not much of a benefit if you're starting the inside lane. But, you know, you can choose the inside lane behind the guy ahead of you. That doesn't mean that guy outside of you, you know, is going to be looking to do the same thing. So, 19 laps to go on the restart. Chicano, Kelly, still your front row. Gracias Bennett, still row 2. Then it's Carl Felver and Michael Kruger making up row 3. As we see Alonzo Chicano inched out a little bit to the Geico restart zone. Green flag back out in the air, and away we go once more.
Oh, Brett Bennett's going to get turned by... He's drifting and saves it in the grass. No, he's going to continue to slide and another miraculous save.
An amazing
Kruger
save.
again going into Turn 3, Dawson. Wow.
How on earth did he keep that truck straight in Martinsville? That was an incredible save by the driver of the 47, but of course costing himself from what would have been about 4th or 5th all the way back to 14th now. So definitely not what that 47 wanted to do, and of course that cost the 42 of Michael Kruger and the 12 of Cameron Caldwell as they had to check up for that incident. Meanwhile, up ahead, Zach Probst gets by Justin Duran. That is for the 5th spot. So now Probst up to 5th, Duran to 6th, and Carl Felber is P4. But Alonso Chicano continues to lead.
The situation with Brett Bennett happened because he was trying to duck in line to that bottom group. He restarted up top, and he just mistimed that block. He had plenty of room to do it. He just waited a little bit too long, and Michael Kruger was there to shove the nose in there, but jammed down the brakes really quickly, and as we saw, Brett did a fantastic job on not hitting the wall and losing it or going around, and Kruger did obviously a great job on slowing down everyone behind them on not making a huge pileup. But Don Kelly going a little bit wide there, losing the rear end of that truck, trying to keep Jason Gracias right behind him and hunt down Alonso Chicano for this lead, Dawson.
And Dalton Kelly is fighting it now. Right now running P2. He needs these points. I mean, you know, he can't afford to have no stage points in this race. He's got to have a good finish and a good points day. You know, right now, as it stands, you know, Dalton Kelly is 17 points back from the lead. And you see him lose it again right there. He cannot afford to lose that 2nd spot as he battles with Jason Gracias here for P2. He needs these points. You know, he won the stage last week. He's going to need some more points if he can get them here tonight as he battles with the 1 truck still side by side heading into turns 1 and 2. But he's got that inside line. He should be able to get that run off of it. And this might open the door for the 15 of Carl Felber to get to the inside of Jason Gracias to go for that 3rd spot.
Kelly doing a great job defending. He's going to take that line from Gracias as soon as he was clear, go up top, and then cut right back down low. But the truck he sees in his mirror right now, Carl Felber, is not the truck he wants to see behind him. The point leader, and Alonso Chicano, ahead of him, is 5 points behind Felber, way ahead of Kelly, of course, who is, like you mentioned, 18 points back. He needs a great night in points and have these guys not get great showings like what happened last week. And this time Kelly has to completely capitalize. He got a stage win last week, but he didn't get the complete job done.
Yeah, he was not able to finish in the top 10. Only Justin Duran was able to do so. Probst in the wall back in the back, and the caution's going to fly, I believe. The 82 of Gabe Cazzola again. Around this time, a little more worse for wear for that 82 truck, and you know Dalton Kelly is thankful for that one because Carl Felber was hot on his bumper. So another caution.
Already running a high line there compared to everyone. We saw this a little bit earlier from him. And contact with Caleb McCurry, who rode up on the curb there.
I think Caleb was trying to give him room. You see right there, he almost slid back down to the front of the 44 of Andrew Elias. Able to lock it down, able to get on the brake pedal. But that brings out yet another caution here. Coming to the end of the stage as well. Just 9 laps to go. This time that'll be 8 laps to go in the stage. And it looks like we got some guys coming down pit road. Jason Gracias, Zach Probst, Matthew Stotts, Cameron Caldwell, Brett Bennett, and Gabe Cazzola all on pit road. So an interesting shakeup, an interesting wrinkle here for these stage points.
Absolutely no surprise to me to see these guys coming down on pit road. Majority of them non-playoff contenders, and the ones that are need to do something completely different. Probst he's almost 40 points back after consecutive DNFs to start the playoffs, so he's almost eliminated from the contention completely. So he needs to do something drastic. And Caldwell is not going to be able to race next weekend, and he's already 6 points behind Felver as it stands, so following him on track is not going to do anything.
See the driver of the 1, Jason Gracias. He was on pit road too. The thing with him, he doesn't worry about stage points. He's here for a win. He doesn't care about stage points. You know, they're not going to affect him too much. He's here to race for a win. So an off strategy to try to get to the race lead here with this stage break coming up. Guaranteed caution in just about 7 laps from now. So get your fresh tires. Just kind of coast around. See if you can't become the first car that pit on track. And see what happens from there. So we'll look and see. You see Gracias, Cazzola, Stotts, Bennett, Probst, Caldwell, and Elias all came down pit road. They're going to be the ones that are going to stay out under this stage break, barring any kind of incident, any kind of wreck, anything like that. So now we come to the choose. Bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top. Just goes the same way as usual. You know, you don't want to be the one that's starting 6th, but chooses the inside because that allows 7th to jump ahead of you on that outside lane. So that bottom lane is so valuable, but it's not valuable enough to try to give up a spot just to try to go for it. Pace truck makes the hard left turn down pit road. Chicano, Kelly, Felver, Durand, McCurry, Kruger. Your top 6 for stage points. We're going to have a 5-lap shootout to determine it. Into the Geico restart zone. Green flag flies. Back underway here in Martinsville.
Great restart by Dalton Kelly, but Carlo Felver's going to send it into turn 1, get to his inside, and it's not going to be enough for that 45. He's going to have to restart it with that 15 for the second place here.
As Chicano pulls away, Kelly's going to drop to Felver. Felver is clear. Spinning in the back. Matthew Stotts. And Brett Bennett's involved as well. That's going to end the stage. Matthew Stotts in the 38 sideways on the exit of turn 4. Let's see if we can take a look back and see what happened here. Oh, contact with his teammate, the 82 of Gabe Cazzola. You see there, heavy damage to the front end of the 47 of Brett Bennett. Also involved, that's part of the deal with taking a strategy call like that. You know, you take the risk of something happening, and something happened, and that takes out the 47 there with some heavy front end damage. So with that caution, your top 6 in the stage: Alonzo Chicano, Carl Felver, Dalton Kelly, Justin Durand, Caleb McCurry, and Michael Kruger. So that's going to be big for the points here, because while Chicano won the stage, he's only going to get 1 point over Felver.
Absolutely right, Dawson. The only benefit to this is, like I mentioned before, he's leading laps, and Felver has yet to, I don't think, but that can all change later, and Felver leads the last 150 laps. It's not going to matter, that extra point, so it's definitely going to be a tight battle all the way to the last lap at Kansas, and every playoff point, every bonus point, and throughout this 4-race stretch is going to really matter between these two, I think. It's going to be a pretty heads-up fight if they can continue and stay on track race like this, because if one of them has an issue tonight, that completely opens the door wide open.
See the field coming down pit road. Pace car pulling off as well. What is going on here?
Well, the green flag is out.
Green flag flew. They threw the caution. I'm wondering, I think what it might have been, I see the caution is back out on the racetrack. I think what they determined to do is, since the restart was going to be a 1-lap shootout, they were going to throw the caution. They were trying to add an extra lap and said they couldn't do that. They're going to throw the caution. So that's going to allow for the field that needed to pit at the end of the stage, and those that were going to stay out to stay out.
I think they're scoring the stage a lap ahead instead.
Yeah, I believe that's what they're doing. That's what I think was going to be the case. So, like I said, it was Chicano, Felver, Kelly, Durand, McCurry, and then Kruger. That was the top 6 as they ran there. And they didn't want to run a 1-lap shootout for it. And that would make sense, because they don't want to show, a 1-lap shootout. They don't want it to be that way, because that leaves for somebody making an aggressive move for that stage point that could wind up taking out a lot of trucks. So definitely a smart call. Err on the side of caution there to let the field, just take it easy and finish up the stage. So you'll see Jason Gracias, he'll peek down like he's going to pit, not actually going to go down pit road. So with the pit stops, those that pit before the stage on that previous yellow, they are currently the top 6 with Jason Gracias, David Durand, Brett Bennett, Cameron Caldwell, Andrew Elias, and Zach Probst. You see the choose happening there. Gracias takes the bottom. Caldwell goes to the top as Durand chose the bottom. Elias up top, Bennett to the bottom, Probst to the bottom, I believe, as well. That'll allow Carl Felver to the top to take over the 6th spot. So definitely some moves around here. Different changes, different choices So interesting to see that 24 choosing the bottom behind Jason Gracias.
We've seen that a lot at short tracks this year. One lane be dominant. Of course, the bottom's very preferred here. We'll see what Cam Caldwell can do on this outside lane. Green flags out, Dawson. Big stack
back
up.
in the air. You see Alonso Chicano wanted to try to go to the inside. Cameron Caldwell is going to get in behind his teammate in the one of Jason Gracias as they come through turn 1. We'll see if they're able to keep it straight. Looks like they are. Back in the back, though, Carl Felver has already gotten up to the 4th position. He moves up the 44 of Andrew Elias. It looked like he's going to take the 4th spot, the 3rd spot, excuse me. Now, Carl Felver going to try to march to the front. He's got 2 ahead of him, Cameron Caldwell and Jason Gracias.
Very intrigued to see what Caldwell can do, of course, on that alternate strategy. I think big slide out of Carl Felver there. Cold tires could be a big-time issue. Of course, the 12 and the 1 on new tires. They're on slicks. Of course, they have a heat cycle on them. That could be an advantage early on this run compared to Carl Felver, who overtook Andrew Elias, of course, for that 3rd position.
See Brett Bennett battling with Michael Kruger back there in the back. That is for the 8th position. And it looks like a spin, maybe, possibly. Caution is out. Brett Bennett, Zach Probst is involved.
I believe Gabe Cazzola also, he went a lap down at the same time this all occurred. Might have towed at the same exact time, but yeah. Oh, a slide off of turn 4 and right in the path of Brett Bennett, who barely missed the 62 but caught that safer barrier, Dawson.
Definitely a close call for the 62. Very well could have spelled what was the end of the long shot there for the championship, but I do believe even with stage points that occurred, I don't know if this 62 will be able to catch up for that championship. But caution comes out yet again, so we'll have another restart.
Just a very disappointing chase for that 62. Zach Probst, he was very looking forward to it and felt like he had 4 tracks that fit his driving style, and 4 tracks he felt like he could break through it, and this has unfortunately gone the way his season's gone. A lot of crashes and a lot of failures to finish, unfortunately. He's had a lot of good success, but he hasn't been able to replicate that here in the chase.
Thankfully for him, though, not a lot of damage there, if any. I mean, he slid. Bennett avoided him, so 62 should be fine and ready to go with no issues.
When I talked to him before the chase began, he said this was the race he was looking forward to the most. So hopefully he can get a good showing tonight for that peak performance machine. Absolutely. And put on a great end to his season, despite probably being out of the title hunt like you mentioned.
And looking at the standings right now, it looks like we have 2 trucks out of the race, or at the very least just off the track. Matthew Stotts, Gabe Cazzola, 11 laps, 4 laps down respectively. Brett Bennett has gone a lap down while doing his repairs, it looks like. Actually, it looks like he's left the session. He is no longer showing up as being scored or anything, so the 47 is out of the race. And that leaves 11 trucks on the lead lap, so the margin of point gain and loss is very slim now between these 7 playoff drivers. Should get the 1 to go this next time by. It'll be 140 laps to go in this race. I believe you can 1-stop it from here.
So I don't think you need to stop again.
I hear some sounds in my ear. It sounds like the driver of the 47, Brett Bennett, is now all of a sudden in the booth. Brett, what happened out there?
I had a good speed, and then Michael got in the back of me on a restart, got me sideways, had to save it. I was still fine at that point, and then the same driver who's brought out 5 cautions this race caused another wreck right in front of me, and I had nowhere to go. So, then got engine damage, and I'm not going to ride around for points when I'm way down on pace. It's not worth it. This track's harder to drive as is, and with a damaged truck, it's just not worth time.
Alrighty, well, we're looking and seeing here the choose cone just occurred. Gracias took the top. A lot of them took the bottom. It looked like the 15 ran over the choose cone, so he's going to drop to the tail end. So that'll be big for this championship battle here. So Gracias, Caldwell, Kruger, Kelly, Chicano, Duran, the top 5. Green flag back in the air through the restart zone.
With an unfortunate restart there on that top lane. He's going to slide in behind Caldwell, though, for P3. As you see Kelly and Chicano side by side for 4th. Chicano running that outside lane. That's the unpreferred groove, of course. Caldwell fighting to that bottom, trying to get some ground on Gracias, though, up front.
You mentioned Kruger going outside. You know, that's the thing. He went to the top lane. He was the second in the top lane, but that was because 1st through 4th pretty much went to the bottom. You know, the 15, the 12, they all went to the bottom. So with that, Kruger took the top, jumped up a couple spots, and that puts him in a better position than he would have been. He now finds himself in the 3rd position.
Kelly's going to take that 4th place from Chicano now, who rides 5th. Justin Duran shakes in 6th, and Zach Probst up to 7th after that spin bringing out this last caution.
And looking right now, Matthew Stotts has appeared. He's back out on the racetrack. He is currently coming through turns 3 and 4 right now as the leaders head to turns 3. So may play a factor here very soon for our lead battle here as Cameron Caldwell hunts down race leader Jason Gracias.
Yeah, surprised to see that 38 truck return to the race. We heard how upset Brett Bennett was at him, kind of, with that contact and with spinning out right in front of him, which led to his contact engine damage. You see Caldwell broken away from Kruger by 0.8 of a second almost and hounding Jason Gracias for that race lead right now. See Carl Felver moving past Zach Probst. This is the fight for P7 now.
After the penalty, up to P7, fighting through the field. He's going to have a little bit of work to do to try to catch back up to the front.
That's a big mistake out of Carl Felver. Of course, we don't see many of those penalties. I haven't seen many of them this season, but they usually come at the short tracks. So I'm not surprised to see it come here, how narrow it is on the front straightaway. And a very costly mistake like you mentioned, but at least it happened early in the stage 2. So he already got his points from stage 1 and a long way to play out.
Oh, spinning in the back! Duran's around! Felver's in it! Probst is in it!
Big pile up off turn 4. Wow.
Heavy damage to the front end of the 62. And just like that, that takes out 3 playoff drivers in that incident. Not sure how heavy the damage is on the 15 or the 20, but the 62 with major front end damage as we go under caution yet again. Just not far back enough for that one there. We'll go back a couple extra seconds. See what happened ahead, because it started up ahead, I believe, with the 20 of Justin Durand. Oh, got
from Carl Felver. Wow.
Oh.
And he gets... Wow. He was big time on the brake there, and Felver kept pushing him. And Zach Probst came on the scene hot, too, and just sent that 20 truck.
You see on pit road the 62, the 20, and the 15. So some damage to them all. I think maybe also to the 24 of David Duran got the back of the 15, and he also got into the back of the 20 truck, so a little more damage for those two. As we see them pull down pit road, we're going to look back and see at Carl Felvers. We see him make his stop, leading the points, involved in an incident, and, you know, he wouldn't have been back there if it wasn't for that penalty.
Yeah, I just got done mentioning how costly it was for him and how quickly he was passing these trucks, but he was trying to push the issue a little too much there on Justin Duran. Shot him in that corner, and he got to push himself from Zach Probst, which kind of triggered that huge pile up there. So extended pit stop here for this 15, of course, fixing all this damage for the point leader.
And the field is coming to 3 and 4, so he is going to pull off and make it out in time, obviously. Just wait until that last second to pull out, get as much repair as you can get done, and then go back out there. So Justin Duran's on track still too. Zach Probst is still on track as well. And obviously Carl Felver back out, but with some damage to that 15, to the 62, and the 20 after that stack up involving the 3 of them. So, I know we spoke earlier about how it would go if it would be kind of that crazy caution fest or if it was going to be a nice and smooth race. Well, it looks like I was on the wrong end of that one. Adam?
Very unfortunate. Like, yeah, we have seen a lot of cautions. Stage 1 was filled with them, and thought it might have ended there, but still in a lot of yellows. Real quick, want to clean up on something. Brett Bennett, of course, involved in that caution earlier with Matthew Stott, said he wasn't upset with him, but upset, of course, with David Durand from a couple races ago, so that continues. Durand involved in a couple crashes, of course, tonight, and we didn't finish that interview with Brett Bennett earlier, that 47 truck, so I'd like to hear from him later on tonight. But we see the choose cone now. Michael Kruger choosing the inside behind Cam Caldwell, and Jason Gracias choosing that top from the race lead, Dawson. Teammate games, of course, I would presume here.
I don't know if it's teammate games or if it's because that one truck knows the launch you can get on the restart can clear you of that second truck. So we saw it on the inside line with Giacano, and it wouldn't shock me the outside line able to do the same thing. You know, just launch in front of him and then just clear down for second. And, you know, also could just be a ploy to get Caldwell the bottom line to help him out, holding off some of those other playoff guys behind him. 126 laps to go. Green flag back in the air here in Martinsville. You see Alonzo Chicano is aggressive, going to the inside of Dalton Kelly, trying to get the nose under for that third position on the 45. You see him stack up a little bit behind. But right now, up front, the battle is still going for the race lead. Cameron Caldwell is right there on the back bumper of Jason Gracias as they continue on through turn 2. David Durand up top. Oh, he almost came down into the 62. Kept it straight, kept it going. But the battle is still on for the lead. Cameron Caldwell peeking to the inside. Here he comes, trying to get the nose under him. Can't quite get there. He's there now. Jason Gracias has got him to the inside for the race lead.
Dalton Kelly waiting for something to strike between these two teammates, but he's going to ride in line third, right ahead of Alonzo Chicano, who's gotten past, or gotten up to P4. Andrew Elias has sneaked up back up to this top 10, this top half of it, up to P6.
That one truck got sideways off of 4, but had to chase it down the front stretch and still maintain the race lead. What a save by Jason Gracias out of turn 4. But the pressure is on from that 12 machine and from the 45 even. They're both trying to get by this one and go for this race lead. You see Michael Kruger struggling a little bit back there in 5th. But right now we're watching up here. Cameron Caldwell's trying to make a move on his teammate for the lead. Oh, Caldwell in the wall! Hit by Dalton Kelly there as well!
The wall, the entire front straightaway. It looked like there was something going on with Gracias at the same exact time. He caught the fence. Like Gracias maybe bobbled or something, but he's going to tuck in line right in front of Chicano. Going to settle into P3 for the moment with a ton of right side damage there.
It looked like he might have just gotten a little loose off the corner, just caught the wall, and then it didn't help that Dalton Kelly was right on his back bumper and pretty much just pushed him up into it. Dalton Kelly just nowhere to go there. You see up top, in the top of your screen, Caleb McCurry dropping another spot to 10th now as he went wide in exit of turn 2. That moves Carl Felver up to 9th, and David Durand passes him as well. So Caleb McCurry back to the 11th position. I don't know if he's just letting him go or if he just went wide on that corner and just had to let him go.
It's up to P5, getting past Michael Kruger into turn 1, showing the nose on that 44 truck.
And that's the thing about Andrew Elias, you know, he always lays out back during these races. He never is really up front. But when he starts to make his moves, he can get to the front quick. You see the damage on the side of that 44 truck. It doesn't matter. Oh, he's going to spin it! Oh, the announcer's jinx is all too common. And once again, it bites this time the 44 of Andrew Elias, the unfortunate recipient of it. And we are back under caution again.
Dawson unfortunately saw that coming. He had a huge slide off of turn 4 last lap, as did Michael Kruger, but he slid the wrong way. He slid it towards the infield. Kruger slid towards the wall, like his truck was tight. See right here, both having big bobbles there. Kruger might have caught the fence there off of 4, but Elias looking like he was going to loop it off of 4, and he did off of 2.
Right there, and Michael Kruger lucky to have not hit him. Nobody else hit. Nobody hit anything. Kept it staying off of the wall, off of anybody else, and so that's going to allow that 44 truck to try to make his move back to the front and get his act together. So it looks like some pit stops. Looks like some trucks on pit road. I see the 45, the 15, the 29, the 42, all on pit road here. Could be a strategy play. Try to get to the end of this race.
All right, Dawson, how about we finish this interview with Brett Bennett so I can stop slandering his name?
All right, hey, Brett, you back?
About me.
Alrighty, so of course you were complaining about the same guy causing multiple cautions, costing you that win there.
Not win, but definitely felt like I had enough to probably get like at least probably easily top 10, probably top 5. But oh well. It was a track position race, and I lost it. Once I lost it from Kruger's contact, it put me back with the problems, which it happens. Kruger wasn't trying to get into me, just missed the entry on the restart. But you know, Gabe had caused like 5 cautions from what I was hearing at the back of the track already that race from my teammates. And then he just turned stots right in front of me, and I was running the top in that corner. And when you're up top and there's somebody under you and there's a car spinning to the wall in front of you, you're just kind of nothing you can do. I locked up the brakes trying to stay out of him, but no matter what I did, I was going to hit him. And first I thought I might be fine on that restart, and then I meant to choose the top and go outside and take the front row, but I didn't do that. But then people were just streaming by me on the straights, and yeah, so engine was killed.
Well, alrighty, but next week, Kansas season finale. I know you're probably looking forward to that one on your calendar. Third place finish in another league at Kansas, so obviously you probably got that one pinned in.
Yep, really that third place finish required some sketchy moves, as I'm sure you're aware of. But yeah, that should be a good race. Hopefully it will go well. At the same time, gonna have to try to take it easy. I don't want to affect anybody who's running for the championship this week or next week. Which is, I was really happy with I was surprised how much pace I had early in this race. To be honest, I expected to be slow. So it happens.
Alrighty, we'll let you go. Brett Bennett out of the race. Currently scored in the P13 position.
Thank you.
Looks like he'll finish there. Gabe Gazzola out as well. But Jason Grassi is choosing the inside this time. Cameron Caldwell outside. Alonso Chicano chose it inside in third. Green flag back in the air. We're back underway in Martinsville. Driving it in hard. Trying to get to the race lead is the 25 of Alonso Chicano. Ooh, a little nudge from Cameron Caldwell as he gets to the back of the 25 on the exit, or the entry of turn 3, excuse me. Able to keep it clean. And look, the 62 struggling as well.
Gonna lose that inside lane to Michael Kruger, who's ready to pounce for that battle for 4th. Justin Duran right behind, as is Dalton Kelly. So a line of trucks ready for that position, and you know they're gonna go fast for Zach Probst if he doesn't get in line real quick. Actually, Dalton Kelly's gonna peek to Justin Duran. Actually, they're 2x2 going into turn 1.
And the thing about this, you're talking about it, Michael Kruger just pit under that last caution. Dalton Kelly did the same. Andrew Elias joined them as well on pit road. And of course, Felber's been getting damage repair. So those guys are on a fresh set of tires, I believe, all 4 of them. So they're all going to try to march to the front here if they can. So Michael Kruger up to P4. He's got P3, Cameron Caldwell in his sights. See battles going on. Dalton Kelly looking for that 5th position. He's going to get it from Zach Probst. Andrew Elias is going to look to follow as well, perhaps here. You see Carl Felber to the inside of Duran as he continues to slip now back down to the 9th position. Carl Felber is trying to work his way through the field yet again. And that's pretty much been the story for him. Back to the front, but now finds himself P8. Looking to the inside of the 62 of Zach Probst. He just about had contact. But he was able to maintain and keep it off of the 62. Now back to the inside, going for 7th.
Big slide for Felver. Going to completely take use of all of his fresh tires there. Mention how many tires they have in the pits. Just 4 of them, and they already put on 1 on the stage brake. So they've gone through 2 sets, of course, already tonight, while the other guys still have 3 laying fresh ones. That they probably might not use all of them, despite all the cautions we're seeing, Dawson.
2, if not 3, from that wreck earlier where he got that damage and he slipped the tires. So it depends on what that 15 team decided to do. But so far, up to P7, and you see up ahead a battle between Michael Kruger and Cameron Caldwell. Michael Kruger is going the outside lane, it looks like, trying to make the outside stick and work for this 3rd position. Cameron Caldwell trying to hold tough on the inside, but those fresh tires just aren't going to allow him to do so. The 42 is going to clear for P3.
Some impressive move right there for that 42 machine.
Ooh, sliding again, I believe. That might have been David Durand. It was. The 24 slid a little bit on the front stretch, able to keep his composure and recover. So he's back running here in the 11th position, the last truck on the lead lap. Meanwhile, this 42 going to now have to focus on trying to catch up positions, getting time to Alonso Chicano and Jason Grassi. You see back there, Carl Felber has taken the 6th spot away from Andrew Elias.
Big time slide at the top of the screen off of turn 4 last time by Zach Probst, who is now under pressure from Caleb McCurry.
I think he's pulling that pit road.
Yes, 62 is in trouble. See the front end beat in from that previous crash, so maybe radiator troubles. So he's going to come in towards his pit stall here.
And that'll do it for Zach Probst. And that'll eliminate him from the championship contention. An unfortunate end for the 62 here as we go back up to your battle. The lead is shrinking just a little bit here. Alonso Chicano is right there with Jason Grassi still.
See how much Michael Kruger's been able to drive away from Cameron Caldwell there in the background for P3, while you mentioned Dawson. Chicano right there in the footsteps of Grassi is just 0.4 of a second back as we get halfway through this race.
Battle for 4th heating up. Cameron Caldwell, Dalton Kelly, Carl Felber, Andrew Elias, all of them right here. Every spot they can get is going to matter, especially for those guys in the playoffs.
Wow, Andrew Elias showing the nose on Carl Felber. They're going to turn 1. Looked like he had a bobble off of 4 and just kind of kept trying to drive the truck down the entire straightaway without catching it. And almost caught the rear end of the 15 truck, but did a great job and staying right there right now. Winning P7, of course, in that 44 machine.
Now, looking at these previous lap times, just trying to keep my eyes on them to see what's going on here. It looks like Kruger has been running the fastest laps on track so far. Definitely wanting to hunt down the 25 and the 1. He needs a good points day today. And so far, he's gotten 1 stage point, and right now he's looking to see if he can go and get another position on the 25 Alonso Chicano to try to help his case for this championship hunt. As we see a pass going on here, Dalton Kelly is to the inside of Cameron Caldwell. This is for 4th.
Caldwell vulnerable on those older tires, of course, compared to these fresh ones on Kelly's 45. It's going to get to the inside of Caldwell here, down the front straightaway again, just showing the nose, but Caldwell still putting up a fight on the outside. So we see the lead has closed up just significantly, half of what it was, but Chicano missed the entry there into turn 3. Maybe that's the line he's racing, Dawson.
That's not missing the entry. He looks like he's diamonding the corners, enter it a little high, go down low on the middle of the corner, and then exit up top. And you see it's working for him. He's coming to the inside, going for the race lead on Jason Gracias.
That's an absolutely perfect short track late model line that works with these trucks, of course, at the paperclip. And he's showing the nose on Jason Gracias going towards turn 1. Right there, just half a truck length back.
And what's so cool right here, with the previous generation of computer for the JCTV broadcast presented by me, you couldn't see those brake rotors glowing. And that's the cool thing about this now. You can see that red on the brake rotors as they go around here. And looking over at the leaderboards and everything, Probst is officially out of this race, so Stotts might be able to pass him if no issues happen for that 38 truck. And that'll put Stotts up to 11th and Probst back to 12th. But you can see right there, when they come through the corners, you can see the red in the wheels from the brake rotors lighting up. And it's such a cool thing to see. And again, I gotta say, shout out to Brian Haynes, everything, able to hook me up with this new computer and just get the broadcast to look so much better. But back in the back, Carl Felber had a bit of a moment there. Looked like he got a little sideways, able to recover. Now Andrew Elias is all over his back bumper battling with him.
sure Carl Felber is going to be real tired of seeing the color yellow in his mirror. Big moment for Alonso Chicano in turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, they're both struggling now, and here comes Michael Kruger. Take a look. Times they last pit, it's been about 60 laps. Just over 60 laps since they last been on pit road. Felber's been in more recently, but also having a little bit of issues. So right now you see Michael Kruger has closed in on Chicano and Gracias. He is trying to make a move for second.
40 lap fresher tires might not sound like a lot, and it might not be a lot with all the yellows we've had, but we did get a little bit of a green flag run in early on, and now we're definitely in the rhythm of a green flag run now. So, like I mentioned, the heat cycle on these other guys early might have helped them on the short run, but you see the pass right there, execute for that 42, might bite them in the long run, of course.
I hope Josh is watching this one here because that JCTV truck is moving. He's up to P2 now with his sights set on Jason Gracias.
A second back on that one truck, we'll see, and pay close attention to that gap grow, or if it shrinks. Right now it kind of stabilized that last lap, about a second and a tenth now behind Jason Gracias is Michael Kruger for that lead here in Martinsville.
You see the battle heating up now for the third spot. Dalton Kelly closing in on Alonso Chicano.
Big moment there off of turn 4 for Alonso. Slid off of the corner, but gonna keep a gap off of Dalton Kelly for now as they both dive deep into the corner. See in the background, Carl Felber right on the tailgate of Cam Caldwell, and he's driven away from Andrew Elias by a significant amount now compared to from before.
Yeah, and you see there the 15 on the back bumper of the 12, and that is not what Alonso Chicano wants to hear. You know, he's got Dalton Kelly right there, fresher tires than him trying to battle, and then not to mention Felber's trying to make a move as well. So this gap right now, as you see, Chicano is up 3 points, so that make a total of 4 points up on Carl Felber, I believe, at the end of this race to make it a 2-point battle. So Alonso really needs to stay ahead of Dalton Kelly, and he really needs Caldwell to hold off Felber as long as he can to be able to try to make a big gain into points to try to get a really good chance going into the championship race.
The good thing for Alonso Chicano going into the championship race is his 1.5 mile stats over Carl Felber this season in the ITPN Truck Series, because Felber hasn't run that many, because we haven't had that many on the schedule to begin with, and when he has shown up, they haven't been great showings. So it could be an interesting fight. Of course, we know how great Felber is on every type of racetrack. He just doesn't have the stats to back it up in this league specifically.
Watching on board the 25 Alonso Chicano, you just see how easy he is with that wheel, entering and exiting the corner. You know, you don't want to be too hard with it to get around the corner, and he is definitely doing a good job there. That onboard camera provided by Celsius. So definitely looking to cap off a championship aspiration season. You see to the inside, though, Dalton Kelly, he's up to third. And spinning! Sliding! Saving it! What a save by Andrew Elias! No caution's going to come from it, but man, oh man, he was heading for that inside wall sideways.
Oh, don't cook it in the corner.
Now he's definitely going to have to try to push hard now to get up there and get that position back, or at least get some spots back from what just happened there.
He's still driving pretty wide in these corners. Got hot tires. He's gonna be right back here in the rhythm here, trying to chase back down Justin Duran, but got to keep in mind that those hot tires. But that was a great save, of course, Dawson.
Yeah, unbelievable. But you see up ahead, Jason Gracias is starting to put a gap between himself and Michael Kruger. Looks like it's starting evening out here as the 42, running slower lap times now than the one truck. He's been able to manage his tires and keep them kind of even. But just up ahead, you see it, the 24, David Duran, lap traffic. So you see Caldwell was able to hold off Felver for the time being. Felver is settled behind him for that 5th position as Chicano is dropped to 4th. Or for the 6th position, excuse me. You see Carl Felver right here. Kind of bounced around throughout the field here. Dropped all the way to the back. Came back to the front. Dropped to the back again. Back to the front. And now he finds himself 6th place on the hunt, trying to get back up into the top spot. But he's got a bit of a ways to go. He's got a couple guys to go through. And you see there, it looks like Dalton Kelly may have had a moment. Alonso Chicano to the inside.
Chicano, of course, going to pounce. Driving to the inside, like you mentioned, can't quite make it stick off of turn 2. Going to have to tuck back in line going towards turn 3. And he's about half a trunk length off that tailgate of Dalton Kelly right now. Going to lose more time off the exit of turn 4.
Let's see if we can see what happened to the 45. This was going into turn 2, that last lap. Oh, he clipped the curb. That slowed up his exit, but that also slowed up the 25, able to hold him off. So right now, Dalton Kelly maintaining that 3rd spot, but Alonso Chicano wants to go.
Chicano not able to keep up with Kelly right now, and Caldwell is catching him significantly right now.
That 12 truck is coming, the back bumper of his teammate. Meanwhile, up front, Jason Grassi is continuing to lead. Going to be 70 laps to go this next time by.
That 24 is getting bigger and bigger right ahead of him. But fortunately enough for him, the gap out back to Michael Kruger has been growing just a little bit over the course of this long run, Dawson. So, and of course Kruger is going to have to navigate that 24 truck himself.
Yeah, he's got the 24 of David Durand ahead of him. And then the next truck will be Andrew Elias, who is just now exiting turn 4, so about half a track, if not less than that, ahead of our race leader. So not a lot of lap traffic, obviously. Not a lot of trucks racing. We got 10 trucks out there. Looks like Matthew Stotts pulled it in, called it a night. No more spots really to pick up here as this race continues on. Everything seems to have gone a little tame, but it looks like the battle heating up once again for P number 4. As Alonso Chicano has to defend against Cameron Caldwell, his teammate. He's got to hold him off and keep fighting while also trying to catch this 45 of Dalton Kelly and make a move on him. I'm noticing too, Felver dropping back a little bit, getting a little smaller in the rearview mirror of Cameron Caldwell. You see that 15, a little bit further back now. The battle raging on between Dalton Kelly and Alonso Chicano. This is for P3. And Alonso really wants that spot back.
'25 truck seems a lot faster right now for Alonso Chicano than Kelly. We saw Kelly pull away and start to drive away, but as the sun has completely set, it seems like at Martinsville and lights have come on, that track has changed quite a bit, and 25 seems a little bit faster right now.
24 there up ahead, lap traffic, David Durand. He's going to pull out of the bottom to let him go. That's what he did for the leader, and it kind of cost the 42 a little bit of time. It looked like he pulled down, and when he pulled down low, he entered the corner low, and that held up the 42 of Michael Kruger. But he was able to keep it going and continue, so Durand was out of the way just enough, but that almost caused a stack up between the 25 and the 45, as he was on the bottom there, entering turns 3 and 4. Well, we got a bit of time here. Looks like things have kind of settled in. How about we do a little crank it up, Adam? The battle heating up for second here as we bring you back to the action. Alonso Chicano has gotten by Dalton Kelly. Cameron Caldwell to his inside now. And the battle for second between Kruger and Chicano. While Jason Gracias continues to lead here. Just 56 laps, making 55 this time by. In the race, in the pits news, 200 at Martinsville.
Chicano with the peak to the inside on Kruger going to turn 1, showed the nose, looked like he was going to tuck back in line and went for it last moment, diving to turn 1 and 2. He's going to be able to go door to door with Michael Kruger going towards turn 3 and show the nose into 3 with an advantage. They're going to slide up the track a little bit, Dawson.
Pushing up the track a little bit, pushing with everything he's got. Alonso clears the crossover by Michael Kruger. He's going to try to get it in deep at the bottom, and Alonso Chicano going to run it wide and make sure he doesn't get to him. Alonso Chicano to second. That truck is coming back to life here.
Could be very crucial for Jason Gracias on that 25, getting out in front of Kruger now. He's got a lot of time to run that truck down. Just over 50 laps to go, and of course we've seen Kruger fall off 1.8 seconds now behind that one truck, so it's go time for Chicano. He had to get around that 42 if we're gonna stay green here. He needed to make something happen now.
And something to look for. Let's take a look and see when we had our driver's last pit. It'll be close to see if we can make it to the end of the fuel window here without needing to make one last stop. Gracias, Chicano, Caldwell, all kind of up in the air there in that situation. So it'll be tight to see how these drivers are able to make it on fuel if they can. So we'll have to see. But we saw Gracias see Dalton Kelly in the wall back there on the exit of turn 4. It's not going to cost him too much. Felver's a little bit further back from him. But, you know, looking at the leader right now, Jason Gracias, I mean, I wonder if he's in saving mode right now because he's letting Alonso gain on him. But the thing is, we saw this one truck lose a fuel mileage race. He ran out of gas in the last corner, allowing Joseph Lester to get the win at Homestead. Now leading in Martinsville with just 50 laps to go. Does he have enough in the tank to make it to the end?
That was such a heartbreaking blow for Jason Gracias, who eased out as just a great short track racer. Showed up to a mile and a half and did great. That's obviously one of his better races. Oh, Chicano, contact with the wall. It's going to keep it going straight. Still, gained a little bit of time going to turn 1 despite that.
Got a little squirrely in the exit of 4. We see that a lot with a lot of these guys just battling the truck to get it straight off of the exit of 4. But he's able to maintain it, and he's still trying to hunt down this one truck of Jason Gracias. But time's starting to run out.
In fact, he ended up losing time on that lap, despite the gain in 1 maybe a little bit too hot going to 1. Couldn't quite make it stick going, exiting turn 2 and down the back straightaway, of course, and see more sliding out of that 25 truck, leaving turn 2, 1.4 seconds behind Jason Gracias for the race lead.
And a big deal for Alonso Chicano. Carl Felver has taken over the 5th spot. So the gap now between Alonso and Felver is 3 points. A 3-point difference between the two. You see back there Michael Kruger trying to hold off Cameron Caldwell for 3rd. But Caldwell is hot on his trails.
It's going to be also very intriguing to see what the fastest lap bonus is going to fall at the end of it, Dawson. And if we do get a late restart, fresh tires, we can see a shootout for a fast lap pretty much. Or if we get, of course, if these guys need to make pit stops, that could be another open possibility to shoot for faster times.
Well, as of right now, the fastest lap belongs to the 8th place truck, Justin Duran, with a 19.463. The next closest is a tie between Jason Gracias and Dalton Kelly, both setting a 19.540 fastest lap. So right now, that bonus point going to Justin Duran, it's going to help him because of the fact of not having a stellar run. He's still going to get another bonus point out of this by having the fastest lap of the race.
Benefit for Duran, of course, is the small field.
Oh, turns him!
Trucks.
Cameron Caldwell gets in the back of Michael Kruger.
What a
gets
save!
Him sideways, but Kruger able to recover. But that's going to cost him more spots. Felver goes by. He's going to have to try to defend against Dalton Kelly. But that's not what that 12 truck wanted to do.
In hindsight, I bet Kruger better wish he had spun it out to begin with, as he almost loses it off turn 4. He's going to slide into turn 1 too. His 42 truck is all over the place, running P5 at the moment, Dawson. He's going to be in for a long 42 laps here.
In practice earlier on, Cameron Caldwell was just kind of messing around. And, you know, I saw him do a couple times. He would get up behind somebody and just kind of move him out of the way in the corner. He gets the wall there, the scrape on the side of the 42. But, you know, Caldwell was practicing that move, I guess, for the late race scenario, and tried it out there on the 42, figured it was go time, could not wait any longer, and wound up getting him sideways. So not at all what Caldwell wanted to do, but he finds himself P3. As you see the 42 still struggling for grip on the exit of 4. He is wicked loose right now.
He is just making the tires even more angry, and that's what Dalton Kelly's going to love to see right now, just running him down these last 40 laps. He's going to be putting the pressure on and hopefully dispose of him really quick, because he wants to get back past Carl Felver here in the last closing laps if he can, of course.
Yeah, that's the issue. Carl Felver is now up to P4, so that gain that Chicano's got, it's a very slim gain. The same for Cameron Caldwell. You know, they're not going to gain a lot of points now with Felver running in P4, but I do want to point out up front, Alonso Chicano is closed back in on that number 1 truck of Jason Gracias.
While he was closing in, Andrew Elias went down a lap, and Justin Duran has fallen 5 seconds within the leader, Jason Gracias. So trouble for that 20 truck. We mentioned him being down the leaderboard. He might be in danger of losing a lap during these closing laps. If we do get a late race restart, could put him down, of course.
Yeah, he'll have to hope for a late yellow to see if he can throw one last swing at something to see if he can't make up some spots and make up some points. The incident early on with Felver and Probst, obviously the worst for where was that 62, but you know, we'll have to see. You know, this 25 is right on the back bumper of the 1. He's closed the gap. He's trying at him now. He knows he needs the win, so he's going to push hard for it. He's all over Jason Gracias now. "36 laps remaining. Alonso Chicano is now right on the back bumper of the 1 of Jason Gracias. He's run him down once more. Up ahead, the lap traffic situation. David Durand is entering turn 2. Justin Durand is exiting turn 2 ahead of the leaders. Ooh, a little slip out of Gracias. That's going to allow the 25 to the inside. Here comes Alonso Chicano peeking to the inside of Jason Gracias for the race lead. He's going to take it this time by. Gracias tries to cross over. It's not going to work. New race leader, the 25 of Alonso Chicano.
It's something you don't see often, and that is Jason Gracias fighting the handling of his truck and not being happy while in the lead, Dawson. Could you imagine that? What a dominant truck we've seen out of him tonight, and Alonso Chicano ran him down, put the pressure on him, and made Jason Gracias wheel that thing and pick it up and drive it himself
sliding in the
a couple
back!
times. He's still losing it.
And the caution's going to fly! Andrew Elias spins it off of turn 4. We are going to have a late race restart.
Changes everything. We're not going to have to worry about fuel anymore. We're going to bolt on some brand new tires, fill it with gas maybe leave it where it is if you're some of those guys who pit early on.
Yeah, we're going to take a look and see. You know, it's been about 80 laps since those guys made their pit stops. But I don't know if I see any of these guys taking the risk with that many laps on their tires. But a big saving grace, of course, for the 42 of Michael Kruger. Able to now try to get some work done. As you see, the leaders pulling on pit road. Oh! No, okay. Never mind. That didn't show that he was pulling on pit road at first. It was flashing like he was staying out, but no, it looks like all the lead lap trucks going down pit road. Of course, wise move by everybody. Not going to miss out on those fresh tires you got in the pits. You might as well use them. So with that spin, I believe that's going to put... if he takes the waiver out, Andrew Elias will be back on the lead lap, but David Durand gets the free pass, and now David Durand is going to be back on the lead lap. So we'll have 9, make it 10 trucks if Elias waves around here on the race, on the lead lap. So we'll have to see race off pit road. Alonso Chicano wins it. Gracias second. Caldwell in third. Dalton Kelly jumps to P4. Carl Felver out 5th. Then it's Michael Kruger out 6th. Caleb McCurry coming off in 7th. And Justin Durand getting as much damage repair done as he can if he's got any left. He's going to roll it off 8th. Just under 30 laps to go this time by. Actually, exactly 30 laps to go. We'll have a restart with under 30 to go. Alonso Chicano maintains the race lead. Now, Adam, what's that stat you had about the In the Pits News trucks, our sponsored trucks for this season so far?
Oh man, I brought that up off air. That could be a big jinx, Dawson.
Well, we'll see. I mean, Alonso's not going to have too much to hold off. He's just got to hold off Jason Gracias, Cameron Caldwell, Carl Felver, excuse me, Michael Kruger. Just going to be a battle here. It looked like Dalton Kelly pulled back down pit road. Looked like maybe get some last second damage repair as this caution flies. And someone I want to highlight here doesn't get a lot of mention on air. Just usually past couple weeks he's been missing from our league races. But how about Caleb McCurry? Right now running it in 6th, having a great run here tonight. Hasn't had too many incidents. Had that one incident with Gabe Cazzola maybe earlier in the race. But other than that, a great run so far for that 29 truck. Really happy to see him out here again. We've been missing the past couple weeks, but back out here running. It's fun to see him out here. So we'll see the choose happening this time. Alonso Chicano takes the bottom. It looks like it's going to be about an even split going top-bottom. Not really changing much here. You'll see Jason Gracias takes the top, Caldwell to the bottom. Felver up top, Kruger to the bottom. I believe McCurry took the top as well up there. Yes, and Dalton Kelly taking the top as well. That's the 7 trucks that have chosen so far. David Duran and Relias coming back around. And it looks like Justin Duran took the bottom as well. Looks like the caution lights are still on. Might have had an incident that caused the field to not go green yet. There's David Duran trying to catch back up. I'm not sure what caused the delay of the green flag. But the truck's getting lined up here. And we got the field water back up. And the lights are off on the pace truck. So we're going to have a 26-lap shootout here, barring any more cautions. Adam, what do we think is going to happen here?
A bunch of more contact. All that contact we just saw in the last, 110 lap of green flag run is going to completely boil over, and might see some payback, some retaliation. Maybe some from the last couple weeks even boil over to tonight.
Alonso Chicano, Jason Gracias, Cameron Caldwell, Carl Felder, and then Michael Kruger. Coming to the Geico restart zone, 26 laps left. The green flag is back out in the air.
Big opportunity for Jason Gracias here. He's going to try and slide in line in between his 2 teammates up front. He does as Caldwell fights aggressively against Carl Felver for that 3rd position in line.
Andrew Relias was in the wall back there in the back. I saw that 20 truck send it in deep pretty well too. You see the 15 goes wide. That's going to lose him a couple spots. He's going to be stuck in a 3-wide position. Kelly to the inside. Duran trying as well.
Duran backed out of the 3-wide move there going to turn 1, while Kelly pushes up into Felver through the center of 1 and 2.
He does not want to give up this spot, but he's going to do so. Looks like the 15 is going to drive it in deeper. The 45 trying to get the run on the exit. He's going to stay side by side with Carl Felver. This is for 5th. Meanwhile, up front, Alonso Chicano now has a half a second lead over teammates Jason Gracias and Cameron Caldwell.
As I was mentioning before, big opportunity for Gracias. New tires, new run. Looks like he had lost the race before that caution came out for Elias. He had been dominant and then let Chicano catch him and pass him. Was starting to lose the 25 as he was driving away. Now he's got a new opportunity, but he has to catch Chicano 4/10 of a second lead.
They're staying tight together here, the top 3. Looks like Carl Felver finally lost that battle with Dalton Kelly. Move him back to the 6th position. And this is exactly what Chicano needs to see, because as of right now, their points lead would go to the 25 as they run right now. So big opportunity for Alonso Chicano to set himself up to control his own destiny next week. And he puts it in the wall from the lead! Gets into the wall on the exit at turn 4. Jason Gracias and Cameron Caldwell close back in.
Not the first time we've seen that 25 bang up the right side in that turn 4 wall, but like you mentioned, now the time to do it. In the lead, Gracias trimmed the lead down just by 1/10, but not able to utilize it so much now.
Gracias still closing the gap on Alonso Chicano. Cameron Caldwell is kind of staying even back there in the back, but you see Carl Felver is back in 6th. Justin Duran, is at the 7th. Caleb McCurry 8th, David Duran 9th, Andrew Elias 10th. We've got 19 laps to go this time by. Does Gracias have enough to push one final time to get by Chicano?
Caldwell caught the wall there off of 2. Big gap back to Michael Kruger, Dalton Kelly, and Carl Felber. Of course, back to big slide out of Jason Gracias through 2 and 4.
Gracias clipped the curb. That's not going to help. He's losing time to Chicano there.
This might make...
And you see the 15 to the inside. He puts Dalton Kelly in the wall. The move to the inside of the 45. He shoves at the track. Dalton Kelly gets in the wall. And now Caleb McCurry gets him and spins him. Sends him in. The caution's going to fly.
If that didn't cause any more damage, though, that might be a blessing in disguise for Kelly to remain on the lead lap. And he might get retaliation on Carl Felber here. That was a lot of contact going on at once on the back straightaway.
That 15 right here in the background of Carl Felber. You see Dalton Kelly tried to make a move on Michael Kruger. Had to get on it a little bit hotter. That opened the door. The 15 got to his inside and drove up the racetrack. Got the 45, put him in the wall right there. And as Kelly was trying to recover, it looks like he just tried to get in. And the 29 missed the corner, got into him. And it looks like the little bit of net code wound up sending him in up into the wall. And now issues for the 45 of Dalton Kelly.
A little bit of netcode and a lot of racing going on right there, but wonder if Kelly's going to be upset with that. Definitely looked like a racing deal, though, Dawson, to me, but we have seen emotions boil over in this chase already.
I don't know. I mean, you know, the way that was with Carl Felber getting to his inside and pushed on the track, I don't know if Dalton Kelly will take too kindly to that one. The incident with Caleb McCurry might be a little bit different as well. It looked like 29 just missed the corner and got up into him, but at the same time, he may see both incidents both ways, and he just may be pissed off at both of them, so we'll have to see.
As a driver, obviously, all you see is other guys getting into you. You might not even see that, but you feel it definitely, and it's not a pretty feeling, and it just makes you blood boil no matter what. And at the moment, definitely going to be upset as we see and bring it down pit road.
It'll be especially big, too, because, you know, he was 17 points back heading into this race. Was able to score some stage points. I think it was 4 stage points with a third-place finish in the stage. But outside of that, you know, now he's going to have to try to recover here. And, you know, a 9th place run right now is not going to help. I believe that 44 of Andrew Elias is on pit road. I mean, he may have even parked it just for the sake of helping a teammate. But he has currently scored a lap down on pit road. So we'll have to see what the decision is there. But looking back up to the field, I believe we're getting ready to come to the choose this time by, perhaps. Or maybe next time by. It looks like they're all staying single file up top. So choosing next time by. We'll have 12 laps to go when we choose. So it'll be 11 to go on the restart. Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. And just 9 trucks remaining on the lead lap if Kelly manages to remain on the lead lap after pitting for repairs here. Really, the downfall for Kelly in his chase for the point lead was not executing at Phoenix last week, like we mentioned before. Got the stage win, so valuable points there, but didn't get the finish he deserved. 13th place after running midway through the race.
Yeah, in the middle of the race, he spun out. That's what happened. That's what put him behind the 8 ball. Spun it himself, got in the wall. You see the choose. Chicano, Caldwell, Felver inside, Gracias, Kruger, and I believe that's Justin Duran on the outside there, so we'll see how that choose happens. And I do want to point out, it looks like there, Dalton Kelly's got 1 truck gap between himself and Felver. He's behind the 29 of Caleb McCurry. As we get ready to go green, pace truck pulls off. Chicano Gracias still your front row. 11 laps to go in the restart as we head for the Geico restart zone. This is setting up to be a good one. Green flag flies, away we go once more. And spinning in the back almost.
Oh
What a save by the
Kruger.
42 of Michael Kruger, but that's not going to help because he's going to lose some spots here. Here comes Justin Duran to his inside. He's going to have to give it up. And that's going to allow the 20 truck. He's going to get in the back of the 29. The 29 slides up, spins Michael Kruger. And the caution will fly yet again. I believe there's more contact up front. It's Dalton Kelly and Justin Duran getting into it.
Man, what a bunch of chaos going on at once, and Caleb McCurry was an innocent victim among it again, and he knocked Michael Kruger after getting sent through the grass, he knocked into Michael Kruger and spun the 42 out. Wow.
Just get a whole
And
replay there.
on this restart. Yeah, big time wheel spin, and Justin Duran forcing the issue off of 2.
Duran went to the inside of the 42, was able to make a move, but then right here he was trying to get into it and just a little too hard into the 29, sent the 42 in. But then after that, the 45 sends in the 20. So a little bit of bad blood there between those two. No love lost. And you see the 20 truck on pit road. Michael Kruger is on pit road as well.
Austin, when you asked me about 20 laps ago what we expected, it was about that. A bunch of beating and banging for, P last almost on track, and
Yeah,
every driver just not giving an inch. Every point is that valuable, Dawson.
And I do want to point something out here, not to stir the pot a little bit, but 4th place Carl Felver, 6th place Dalton Kelly. So keep that in mind for this restart here. We're under 10 laps to go. Under caution, yet again, incident involving the 20 truck of Justin Duran, the 29 of Caleb McCurry, the 42 of Michael Kruger, and the 45 of Dalton Kelly. And I mentioned, the good run earlier, and he's had a couple run-ins there, but still top 5 right now for that 29 truck, Caleb McCurry.
You mentioned Dalton Kelly, who's going to most likely, possibly, restart right behind Carl Felver. Carl Felver starts right behind Jason Gracias. Those two got into it last week at Phoenix for the race lead.
Plenty of storylines here, but it's all about Alonso Chicano up front leading here. He's had plenty of good restarts to clear the field. He's going to have to do it at least one more time. So it'll be exciting to see how he does here. So it looks like it'll still be 2 to green this time by. We should get the choose next go around, and we'll get a 5-lap shootout on this next restart. As this race nears the conclusion, remind you again, next week, it's all about the championship. The finale for the In the Pits News Truck Series Season 2, Kansas Motor Speedway. Stream will be up 7:45 Eastern here on JCTV, and you're not going to want to miss it. Now, we choose. It looks like it goes the same as always. We're lining up like normal. Chicano to the inside, Grassi's outside, then it's Caldwell, Felver, McCurry, Kelly. Then you see Justin Duran, David Duran next to each other, and Michael Kruger rounding it out in P9.
Here we go, Dawson. 5-lap shootout.
5 laps to go. Are we going to make it without another yellow? Let's find out. Pace truck off. Alonso Chicano, Jason Grassi is going to lead us to the restart zone. Green flag is going to fly. We're back underway. The 15 does not get going. Dalton Kelly had to check up. And now we'll see them. Here they go. A good jump by Grassi and Caldwell. And a good move as well by the 12. And the caution again.
Into turn 1 and wiped out Justin Duran. They were 3 wide into turn 1. Kruger and the Duran brothers. Because Kruger got a great restart compared to Justin with a ton of wheel spin. And you see the 42 just forcing the issue 3 wide into turn 1. Maybe a little contact with the curb. And indeed, Justin
hit him. Hit the curb. It looked like the 20 might have tried to chop him in there too. Not let him by, but then also they got the 24 and the 20 together. The Duran brothers making contact.
Sounds a little familiar.
A bit of a family affair between those two there. So we're going to go to overtime. And that time, Cameron Caldwell got to second. He got to P2. He got by Jason Gracias. And you see there, not happy with each other. No love will be lost here, but of course, that's short track racing. It's what you expect to see. So we'll have to see how things shake out here. You see Justin Duran pulling to the side of the 42. Does not look happy with him. He looks like back in line there.
I believe he's going to have all 3 of his mirrors full of the Durans here on this restart.
It's going to be a mirror full here for that 42 Michael Kruger. It looked like that 15 might have had some wheel spin on that restart that caused him to stack up that outside line, which allowed the 42 at least to get to the inside and make it 3 wide. because Durand and Kelly were not able to get going.
Of course, that's been the issue all night on the top lane, Dawson. It just doesn't get going as much as the bottom. So you just hope you can just hit the hammer down with the throttle as the leader does, and hope the truck doesn't spin out from underneath you. We've seen almost everyone lose it from underneath of themselves on the restarts, but luckily we haven't seen a massive pile up yet in the restart zone.
I don't think we have a clean truck left. Besides maybe that one truck. He hasn't had many run-ins at all, if any, so he might be the only one, but it won't be long until he gets one. Because it's looking like it's getting ready to start stacking up pretty bad. So, believe it'll be 1 degree next time by. Alonso Chicano. Now Cameron Caldwell finds himself P2. That 12 truck is definitely going to push hard for that race win. And it'll be exciting here to see how Cameron Caldwell can make the move to try to get to the race lead around his teammate, Alonso Chicano. So with the choose, Alonso Chicano to the inside, Cameron Caldwell to the outside, Jason Grassi is lining up P3, Carl Felber P4, Caleb McCurry in 5th, Dalton Kelly 6th. Then it's Michael Kruger, Justin Durand lining up behind him, and David Durand taking the top. So things may not be over here as we see the pace car pull off. We're about to see things shake up here. Overtime attempt number 1 here at Martinsville. And the green flag is back on the air. Jason Gracias, contact! Around goes Alonso Chicano. The whole field is going to stack up into it.
Dalton Kelly is the only one without major contact in that huge pileup, but he's already got major crash damage. And Carl Felber's towed it. He's done. Jason Gracias looks like he's done. What chaos ensued. I jinxed it with the restart box shenanigans, but holy cow. It was also with Cameron Caldwell on the outside lane, Dawson.
We're going to get a look at this from the front stretch view here. It looks like the 12 gets a little squirrely, and might have been the 1. Oh, the 1 truck gets a little squirrely, hits the 12 into the 25, and you see a lot of contact for a lot of drivers. Only 2 of them able to drive through it, maybe with minimal damage. The 20 of Justin Durand and the 45 of Dalton Kelly.
Dawson, that's a huge pileup. I think we're going to have to take a couple more views at that post-race if anyone is able to keep on going.
You can see him out on the track right now. Dalton Kelly, Justin Durand, Caleb McCurry. Michael Kruger was up in the air, and he's running 4th. Cameron Caldwell 5th. David Durand is 6th. Alonso Chicano is back out on track in 7th, trying to catch the field. But Jason Gracias and Carl Felber both out of this race, and this is going to be big for Alonso Chicano if he wants to try to get that points lead to go for the championship, at least next week, to have control and lead his way, try to get to a championship. It will be fun here now.
I have no idea how Alonso Chicano is still driving that truck right now. He took the hardest impact out of anyone, I think. He slammed the outside retaining wall with the driver's side of that truck, but it doesn't look too beat up. But the only thing is he goes from first to last.
The thing is, no truck out there right now is not beat up. Every single truck running right now has got damage. So Dalton Kelly now takes the race lead. He's going to get to choose here, as we should get the 1 to go this next time by. Dalton Kelly first, Justin Durand 2nd, Caleb McCurry scored P3, Michael Kruger P4, Cameron Caldwell P5, looks like not choosing yet here. This will be the 2nd overtime attempt. I think we might get to 3, I don't know about that, but we'll have to see. But with Carl Felber out of it, it's a big opportunity. Alonso's just got to pick up a couple spots and see if he can't jump him for the points lead.
So we both kind of predicted that huge pileup. They were saying the chaos wasn't over, but I didn't expect this race to end with at least 2 overtime attempts the way it ran midway through it.
And looking at the points, Felver had a 5-point gap over Chicano. Chicano gained some more stage points, he gained one more stage point, was able to put a point there, and right now he's a point ahead. And it looks like he's going to take the top lane, of course, going to get some more spots. Cameron Caldwell now has a chance to gain points. How about Justin Durand? He's not out of it here. Michael Kruger's going to gain some more points as well, so it's all up to this.
Real quick, Dawson, before we restart, Jason Garcia's quick to point out in the chat that he was getting run over from behind by Caleb McCurry on that restart. It looked like both lanes just completely stacked up trying to get the best start possible. Let's see if that happens again here.
And that 29 was all over the back of the one, got the one squirrely. Dalton Kelly, Justin Durand, the front row. Green flag back out in the air. We're racing once again here at Martinsville. Overtime number 2, and Dalton Kelly is clear out front. Caleb McCurry going for P2. He gets it to Durand. Durand's going to spin it, save it. Caution flag flies once again. It looks like we're going to have one more restart. Oh!
P3, Dawson, wow. Big contact with Caleb McCurry and Justin Durand racing for P2. Durand didn't get the start he wanted and trying to get in line, of course, trying to get that inside, and McCurry would not let him have it.
And just as I was saying, that was going to be big for Durand to have a good points run here. Now he's got to fight through the field. Let's see if we can go back and take a look and see. It looked like just racing for position in turns 1 and 2. Caleb hit the curb, drifted up, and got into him. And a little bit of contact with Cameron Caldwell as well. So, 29 truck up to P2. After 2 run-ins there. With 2 playoff drivers, or actually just with 2 drivers, Jason Grossi, Jason Grossi and Justin Durand. So, as this shakes up now, of course, Dalton Kelly winning this race would be huge for him. He came in down 17 points, so scoring the stage points and the win is going to be big for him. Cameron Caldwell as well, to where he's running right now, he should tie, or maybe be a point behind the 15. I am not too sure on what his stage points position was, if he scored any. Michael Kruger definitely needs to make a push here. He needs some more points. And Alonso Chicano, of course, is battling to get a couple spots ahead to try to see if he can't go for the points lead. But with the way they're running right now, this will definitely tighten things up pretty close going into Kansas. So it should make for a very exciting championship battle. Looks like we're going to be choosing this next time by Dalton Kelly maintaining race lead. Caleb McCurry having the run of his career up to P2. And there's Cameron Caldwell, Michael Kruger, David Durand, Alonso Chicano, and Justin Durand. Those are the 7 that are currently racing. And this will do it. The final attempt at an overtime finish. Choosing this time by, I believe... See, Dalton Kelly will choose bottom. Caleb McCurry to the top. Caldwell to the bottom. Kruger to the top. The Durands go low, and Chicano goes high. With only 7 trucks, it makes it that much easier to pick out who's going where.
It'll be a very crucial restart for Dalton Kelly here to get away clean. Caleb McCurry, not a front runner in this league, so he's very inexperienced on these restarts with everyone here, and he hasn't been up front at all tonight, so... Could be a very, very crucial restart if he can get away from everyone here on the launch.
Both front runners looking for their first career win. Dalton Kelly, Caleb McCurry, your front row. The final attempt at overtime here at Martinsville. The green flag is out. We're back underway, and a huge jump for the 45.
Cameron Caldwell right with him going to turn 1 as all the trucks slide into the corner behind him.
Like I mentioned earlier, he's been practicing that bump. He's been practicing the moving out of the way. Cameron Caldwell to the outside, and Dalton Kelly going into 3 and 4. Kelly slips up a little bit. Caldwell to the outside. We're going to get the white flag this time by 1 final lap here in Martinsville. Contact outside wall. Justin Durand in the back. Doesn't matter. Caldwell trying to make the outside work. Dalton Kelly to the inside. They're still side by side going on the back straightaway for the final time. Durand up top, not going to matter. Caldwell, Kelly, side by side, coming through 3 and 4. It's going to be close. Kelly's going to drive it in deep. Kelly's going to door him. Dalton Kelly is going to win at Martinsville.
Caldwell tried getting back to him and hooking him, but it wasn't enough, and Kelly wins. Chaotic Martinsville. Wow.
Cameron Caldwell, I couldn't tell if that's a bump of congratulations or a bump. Just letting him know he's a little aggravated with that one. But Dalton Kelly, his first career win here in the In the Pits News Truck Series. Michael Kruger, he's taken into being a member of SPLD as an honorary member. You'll see him celebrate as well. But Dalton Kelly gets it done here in Martinsville, and this will be huge for his championship hopes. He was down 17 coming into this race, but with the win, he's definitely going to jump up in the standings. Looking through the rest of the field,
And Felver did not finish, and Chicano finished towards the back of our remaining trucks, so this is huge. Like we mentioned, what could have been with a decent finish at Phoenix, but he's been one of the most quiet, consistent drivers all season. Before last week, Dawson, he had an active streak of 10 straight top 10 runs, and all but one of them, I think, were top 6 finishes. So just a great performance all year long, and he is putting his everything into his hands next weekend at Kansas.
Dalton Kelly burning it down. But looking through the finishing results there, Cameron Caldwell able to bring it home P2, Caleb McCurry P3. How about David Duran P4 as well? And Michael Kruger rounding out your top 5, as you mentioned. Chicano was not able to capitalize, finishing at P6. And Justin Durand as well had a really good shot to jump up, finishing P7th of the running cars. Carl Felver P8, Jason Gracias P9, Andrew Eliason P10. Then it was Matthew Stotts, Zach Probst, Brett Bennett, and Gabe Cazzola the field. As he burns it down and blows the motor, how about we pull in, what do you say we talk to our 4th place finisher as well? We'll throw in a couple extra guys here. Let's talk to the driver of the 24, David Durand.
What did he had?
Hey David, this is Dawson up in the booth. You got a copy?
Got a copy, buddy.
David, it was an eventful night for you from start to finish. Started off the race having multiple issues, just losing it off the corner, but throughout the race you were able to find the stability, keep it going, and through the end you survived, you endured, and a 4th place finish. How does that feel?
Well, it was just survival, as you said. I mean, just trying to get through the wrecks, and maybe had a shot there at the end, try to maybe steal a W there. But I mean, to take 4th out of this disaster, I mean, we'll definitely take it.
Yeah, and able to again put together a great run there at the end, just keep it in one piece. And 4th place, or pretty rewarding 4th place. Like I said, you struggled early on, able to maintain control, got it back under you, and was able to will on. So is this going to be maybe a launching point for you to try to run up front more, get those positions you need, and get that experience you have?
Well, yeah, I mean, that was our plan from the whole year, to be honest with you. We just been getting bad luck, getting caught up on in a lot of people's messes, and for me, I don't try to run up early in a race. I try to just lay back, let people do what they need to do. Then as the race progresses, and that's when I start making my move. But every time I try to, then like I said, I always get caught up on someone else's mess. But at this track, I wasn't expecting to finish where I finished because I'm not the biggest fan of running that short tracks. But I mean, we'll take 4th, and hopefully this is a stepping stone going in for next week and into season 3.
Yep, a good finish here. Anybody want to shout out sponsors, teammates, anything? What gets it done for that 24 team?
Yep, just Radius Racing for just keeping us in packed. We had a rough season, taking a top 5 tonight, so we'll definitely take it, and we'll see what happens for next week in Kansas.
Alrighty, well, congratulations again. David Durand, a 4th place finish here at Martinsville. And Adam, I believe you are with our 3rd place finisher, Caleb McCurry.
Hey Caleb, we got a copy?
Yeah, you got me.
Yeah, 3rd place finish tonight. First top 5 of the season. Little contact on the restart throw. We saw a lot of chaos all race. You just said in the chat that you were upset with the way that you raced everyone tonight. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, the first, whatever, 170 laps were going okay. I mean, I was just kind of biding my time. I was doing okay on the longer run. And I don't know, on the cold tires, I couldn't turn. And then, yeah, that one restart, I was behind Jason, and I just checked the replay. I think he got Alonso first, but whatever. I mean, I tried to check up and sent Jason to Cam and Cam into Alonso, and yeah, screwed everything up. So didn't like that. And then the next restart, I clipped the guy in a little shallow, clipped the curb, and got a door into Justin, and I guess that sent him spinning too. So yeah, that's not how I want to race. Not how I want to get a third place finish either. But I felt like it was good for the first 180 laps, and then kind of went downhill from there.
Well, it ends up being a podium. Was all how were those first 180 laps before, of course, the chaos ensued? Other than being, of course, decent.
Yeah, the first 180 laps. I mean, I felt like I kind of got in a rhythm. I kind of screwed myself a little bit. I gave Zach the inside because he was a little faster than me, and I missed the top, and then I got freight trained by like 5 other trucks. And I was able to get by him through some pit strategy, I think, and then I was pretty good on the long run. I just got in a rhythm there on that long green flag run. I think I was running like 7th or so, and then the caution came out, and then yeah, everything just kind of went crazy from there.
Who would you like to shout out after P3 performance and your first top 5 of the season?
Yeah, like I thank my brother for the paint scheme that he does and all the work on the different schemes. Kansas Drainfield Restoration and CanVBC Radio.com. Check them out as well. So yeah, I gotta thank them. Yeah, it's not the podium I wanted, but definitely thankful to be on the podium for the first time this year.
Congrats again, and look forward to seeing you in race next week at Kansas.
Thanks, home race for me.
Let's Caleb McCurry, tonight's third place finisher.
And let's see if I can get a hold of our second place finisher, Cameron Caldwell. Hey Cam, this is Dawson. You got a copy?
Yep.
Well, it was a back and forth race for you as well, the same as it was for some of our other drivers. But second place finish, how does that feel, especially knowing the points gain you're going to get going for the championship?
Well, I should be sitting here. Well, I don't want to say should, but I could be sitting here talking about how I won the race. But well, we all saw what happened there. I don't have much to say, to be honest. I think we need to work on some stuff. Everyone here, after that, it should not have been that big of a mess. Yeah, that's about it.
Alrighty, well, like I mentioned, though, the championship hunt, bigger picture, obviously. Good finish, second place compared to Felver and Chicano. You're going to gain points on them there. How big is that, especially heading into that last race, Kansas? Such a different track than the last few we've ran here for the championship race.
Well, I missed out on some stage points, so I think really they actually gained on me. I don't really know the math compared to last week, but regardless, I likely at this point will not be able to race Kansas anyway. So for me, it honestly doesn't matter, and I kind of knew that going into tonight. So I was just kind of going for the win, and if for some odd reason I am able to race, then I'm in a decent spot, I guess. But I'm not expecting the race, so I'm not really thinking about it much.
Well, for the hopes of the championship battle, we hope to see you next week. And if not, just not the way you wanted it to end, obviously. Any sponsors, teammates, anything you want to shout out here for that 12 truck second place finish here?
Yeah, shout out to my main sponsor, Grid Network. Sucks we weren't able to get them victory lane this season, but try my best tonight, obviously. And thanks to my other sponsors, Independence News, C2 Graphics, Milwaukee Massage Therapy, RPS Marketing, Left Coast Rivals, everyone else at Radius, my teammates. Shout out to you guys for broadcasting. And at this point, we'll see you guys next season.
Alrighty, Cameron Caldwell. Not the result he wanted, but still a solid finish. Second place here at Martinsville. Congrats again. And with that, Adam, I believe you're with our race winner.
down here with Dalton Kelly. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, Dalton, congrats on the victory. First of all, what were those final 3 green-white checkers like? First of all.
Yeah, we saw the C's part and just had to hold off Cam there, finally break through and win. Got to thank everyone on the team, especially Daddy Dawson right there. And Joseph Strigley, Circle B Diecast, amazing partners. Can't be here without them. And, C's parted for us on that one restart, and we just did what we had to do. Short track racing, plain and simple. If you're worried about your fender getting bent, go run sports cars. These are stock cars. We expect to hit each other.
There you have it from Dalton Kelly. Of course, Cameron was upset with that contact, but there you go with saying that about the contact there in the last laps. Before that, though, the race you had kind of all over the place. Everyone was. What was this race like before it kind of got really chaotic in the last 20 laps?
Me and Michael kind of went off strategy there around, I think, 100 to go, and we showed the tires meant something, but you got to make them last still yet, and everything just kind of went down in the toilet when we got hit up the track by Carl, then taken out by Caleb, and we were still able to rebound and bring it home P1. It's just a great day for SBLD, and Tyler can suck it.
What do you think this does for your championship hopes next season? Excuse me, next week.
Yeah, next week. Kind of knew we were in a hole, so we had to come out. We got third there in the stage, won the race, so we kind of set ourselves up. We're probably still going to have to be swinging for the fence next week. We'll have to just see what happens right there. We obviously gained on everyone we needed to, so we're going to have to see officially where we're at and go for it. I like Kansas, and it's a fun racetrack. I've had good success there, so hopefully my experience there will help going forward.
All right, congratulations again, and we'll talk to you next week in Kansas.
Thank you.
Tonight's winner, Dalton Kelly in the 45 truck, Dawson.
Yep, and man,
he got it in. Sorry.
He got it in. I didn't want to let him get it in, but he got it in anyway. So he got me when I was least expecting it, but that's okay. I'll give him a pass for this race. So an exciting race, lots of chaos, coming down to that final overtime restart, coming down to just battling, for that win, especially considering the circumstances. If Cameron is not able to race, then, the win is really going to benefit Kelly more. But, if Cameron does show up next week, that win could very well haunt him. So it all just depends on next week. But, very exciting race, very fun, in a bit of a wreck fest, but it's short track racing. It just is what it is, That's how it's always going to be. So, closing thoughts, Adam.
Well, we knew Cameron was going to be very aggressive going into this race, going for broke, with him basically knowing he was out of contention for the defending his championship, but looked very fast there in the closing laps, of course, and felt like the win was stolen from him, but like many others have said, they think it's short track racing, and definitely a huge win for SBOD, and very, very important in terms of not only the Drivers' Championship next week that's going to be started, but the Team's Championship as well, and a lot's on the line next week, and a lot of chaos that got through tonight, and it's just heartbreak all around for everyone that wasn't Dalton Kelly, pretty much. Think about the night Gracias had, and of course Felver and Durand and Stotts and Probst, who weren't able to get great long races in, and of course Brett Bennett also. So very, very chaotic race all around, like you mentioned, and just mixed emotions all around the grid.
Yep, and that's just product of the racing. Some guys are gonna be upset about the way it happens. Other guys are gonna understand that's the way it happens. It's that. And if there's one thing that racers have, it's a long memory. So anything that may have happened or come out of tonight, or feelings that came out of tonight, very may well show up next week as well. So Very exciting race, very exciting finish, and with that, that will pull that points championship for both the playoffs and for the team championship that much closer. So next week, we go to Kansas for the finale, the final race in Season 2 of the In the Pits News Truck Series. Congratulations again to Dalton Kelly, winner here in Martinsville. Signing off for Adam Kuhn and Dawson Allen at JCTV. Just want to say thank you for watching, and have a good rest of your night. Take care now.